the 18th of May, 10 to 6 in the evening, or afternoon, depending how you class it. 20 to 6 used to be the evening, because that's when the ITN news used to come on. Not 6 o'clock like the BBC, it's when ITN started. So because that was called the early evening news. So most people accepted 5:40 as evening. But I'm not sure what anyone accepts anymore. Anyway, I've just fed my boys and myself. They're all nicely chilling now, they've had some meat. One meal a day seems to be working, they all seem to be getting fitter and thinner. One meal a day don't seem to be working for me, but then I can't run around the flat like these boys can. I've lost count of how many weeks I've been imprisoned by Waltham Forest Council. I've lost count of how many weeks it's taken before anyone from the council contacts me. I am really running out of options. I'm recording this now on a proper tripod, by the way. No microphone on this because if you watched my last video, the microphone doesn't go in and I don't want to damage the case because it's a nice case. So what I've done is I've ordered a little thin adapter that should go into the phone and I can plug that on the end of the microphone. I've got the tripod mount on now, so it should be steadier, not going to be so wobbly, so the autofocus should lock on. I should have that adapter coming shortly, and I've got my microphone mount coming as well, but I don't know. It was sent out on the 2nd of May, but it still hasn't been received by the Royal Mail, so it must be coming from China, despite the advert saying it was a UK seller. What else is happening? Oh, I've had a GDPR request from my neighbour, who's the one that, complained to the police about my camera. She's put a GDPR in about it. Luckily, I'm covered by most GDPR legislation. I had a quick look and spoke to the ICO, and they seem to think it's okay, as long as I'm not filming other people, and it's only for security purposes and possible crime use. She actually has asked me to delete all recordings of her and her child. Well, the camera does that automatically. I only save recordings when it alerts me to something going on that shouldn't be going on outside. For instance, about 15 months ago, there was kids in the block. I don't think I've got that recording still, because I've only worked out how to use the camera like the last couple of weeks. I didn't know it kept overwriting and overwriting. I didn't know how long it kept the recording for. It's not very long, apparently. It'll keep still images for a little bit, and it'll overwrite those still images as it fills up. But actual recordings, it's on like a 24-hour loop, I've suddenly discovered. So you can go back in time about 24 hours and you can get video from that time. But it's not much more than 24 hours, I don't think. There's no instructions in the camera about how long it goes on for. It all depends on the memory card and the lighting and all sorts of things. So I don't know. But you have to, if something happens, you have to take a video of it there and then, or it gets overwritten before you can actually store it. And as it is only being used for my personal safety and crime prevention, it's fine. Unfortunately, her letter hasn't actually complied with legislation, because she's given me 30 days from the date of the letter, but the letter is dated the 7th of May, it's the 18th today, so it's taken 11 days for it to get here. There's no letterhead on it. She names me by my full name, which hardly anyone ever uses. And she's quoted the use of sending it to third parties. I'd like to know where she got my name from. I've made sure it's not on the internet. So where she's got my name from, I don't know. Also, she hasn't left me an email address. So how she thinks she's going to get copies of any data I've got, I don't know. I could always print it out and charge her for it. there we are. On other news, I'm liking this tripod already. It's not only has the case got a black and red case, so it makes it easier to look at the camera because it stands out. But the tripod itself, this is why I wanted the tripod mount. It's a nice solid mount and the camera is so steady. And I can have it quite close up now because it's on a proper tripod. I don't have to film it on tabletops and things like that because the previous mount was only a selfie thing. And it only went up to about that far. So I had to keep putting it on tabletops or coffee table or table over there. And it's not exactly stable when the cats are going through. Thankfully I've chosen the right time because, as you can see, well, as you might not be able to see, the cats are sleeping. Mental health is down to -3 from -2 on last report. My sleep has improved, but I wouldn't say it's improved terribly because I still wake up tired. I'm getting a lot of sleep, but broken over 2 or 3 sessions. So I'm not getting a long deep sleep period. Thanks to me Honor Band, it's actually measuring my sleep quite good. Was it quite well? Quite well. Good's not appropriate in there. What else? Coronavirus? Or as we're now saying on YouTube, the C word. Just under 200 deaths today, or yesterday, in the last 24 hours anyway. On the face of it, it looks good. But that's on the face of it. As I know myself, it's easy to manipulate data. I've worked in IT long enough to know what, figures mean. And they are virtually meaningless figures. You can make them say whatever you want. Given the same data, I could format it 3 different ways. And you can get positive results, negative results, or ambiguous results from the same data set. So I'm not trusting the figures because from what I'm seeing, most people around here haven't been obeying lockdown to begin with. And with the mass increase of people using public transport now, I mean, it's all very well Sadiq Khan saying, oh, well, we've got to keep social distancing. We're going to have 10% of our capacity. But that's only if someone forces people to keep social distance. As everyone knows, most people do not do anything they're told unless there's someone telling them at that time to do it. Pieces of paper and programs on TV. It's the Xbox culture. I mean, it's all right going around murdering prostitutes and, crashing cars on the Xbox, but it's not in real life. But some people can't distinguish between TV and real life. And they see the news conferences and the broadcasts about how many deaths there are and how many people have been vaccinated or not vaccinated, tested. They see that as another program, like an Xbox or a PlayStation game. And it's not real. And it's not happening to them. And it's all a bit pathetic, really, because some countries, like India, I think the figure for India was 3,000 cases and only 500 deaths or something. In southern India, Kerala province, I think it was like 500 cases and 9 deaths. So, if most of the world can manage this virus quite well, what has gone wrong with Britain? I mean, look at the last year. We voted to leave the EU, which I did vote to leave. But not on the grounds they put on TV. I just didn't like the bureaucracy of what the EU had become and was becoming. mean, if David Cameron had actually managed to persuade the EU to reform, then I would have probably voted to remain. Because it's a good idea. I think there should be one overall government. But there wasn't one overall government. There was an overall bureaucracy with the EU. If it was one government with one set of policies and health service and that, and everything was the same across Europe, then I wouldn't have a problem with remaining in Europe. But every country had their own little thing. And I'm talking different health services, different defence systems, different police systems. You know, all these things. Centralise them, fine. I haven't got a problem. If you pick out what's commonly known as the best of everyone, and everyone gets improved. But having different benefits and different health services in different countries applying to different people and different reasons, it was asking for trouble. People had the freedom to go anywhere, so they would go, they would go wherever it would be a benefit to them. If they're going to travel in Europe, they're going to travel to benefit them. Not for the best of society, to benefit them. It's normal. Humans will go where there's more money, where there's more benefits, where there's a free healthcare, whatever is, more appropriate to them at the time. Would there have been so much freedom of movement if there was no need to move anywhere? If everyone had the same currency, the same healthcare, the same benefits, the same police, the same laws, if you could not get away from what situation you were currently in, there would be no need to move apart from for work. And I support that. But having multiple systems in multiple member states, they're not learning from their lesson. It's all just been brushed under the carpet. What Britain was doing was highlighting the differences. What Brussels wants to do is highlight the uniqueness and similarities. And it's like they're burying their heads in the sand. Because at the end of the day, all they've done is delay it by getting rid of us. And it's not going to be long before Europe realises that freedom of movement is costing countries more than it would without the freedom. Because countries are losing people to more prosperous countries. So there's a slow, gradual migration from poor to rich, as you would see. I'm not sure how slow or how gradual it is. It doesn't feel like it's slow or gradual. But we keep getting told it's not very many people. And you've only got to look around and you see quite a lot of Europeans. And hey, I haven't got a problem with Europeans. At one point, I classed myself as European, but rather than British. And I wouldn't say I'm proud to be European. I am British. Whatever that means anymore, because everyone in the rest of the Isles wants to break up and go their own way. Scotland, for one. Ireland should never have been part of Britain in the first place, Northern Ireland. We gave Ireland back its independence and kept a few counties for ourselves. What was that about? I've looked it up, as people watching this programme have probably seen in the past. And many programmes I've watched, and I've read all the websites relating to the Irish handover and the Irish Free State and all this, and it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, we had a lot of people in Ireland that wanted to remain British, but it's like splitting Britain into the Remains and the Leaves, and keeping the Leaves as part of Britain and the Remains to stay independent of the rest of Britain, the rest of the independent Britain. So it's bizarre when you put it like that. What else? Oh, I've got my bits and pieces to put the extension socket out there. The internet is fairly stable now. It had a bit of a dip for about half an hour last night, but as long as it's not more than about half an hour. But even then, I straight away I looked up to see if there was maintenance going on, and there's still no maintenance on the Vodafone website. It is a bit annoying. If they've got issues in the area, they should put it down on the website just to let people know. But I think they're just trying to hide the fact that there seems to be an awful lot of maintenance going on at the moment. But thankfully, it's all getting resolved, and that's all settled down. Still no one from the council has contacted me. I've actually contacted a couple of people and asked them to call me back, and they still haven't called me back. That was a few hours ago. I mean, it's 6 o'clock now, so it's not going to happen today. Apart from that, I don't think there's much going on. It's fairly quiet so far around here, but it is a summer's day. Well, a sunny day. I wouldn't say it's a summer's day. It's only May. What am I waiting for now? I've got cat bits to come next week, I think. I've got my little adapter for the microphone for up here. But the microphone on board in this case doesn't sound too bad, I don't think, as long as I project a little. But the external microphone just takes all the echo off. So the sooner I get that back, the better. What else is there? I keep looking at Merlin because he helps me sometimes, but he's fast asleep as well, so he can't even stare into my eyes. What else is there? Nothing as far as I'm aware. I've got 3 videos now to update. Oh, big bonus! I've had 2 new subscribers. Whoa, that's something like an 8% increase, I think. 2 new subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. Drop me a comment. Like and subscribe. Share. I don't mind you sharing this. Post it on anywhere. If you can. I'm not sure you can. But let me know if you can or you can't. And if there's anything wrong with the video, or if it's too dark. I haven't even seen whether the lighting conditions are right. Normally I have the light on up there. But I thought I'd give it a go as it is. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall speak to you next time.